Hey everyone, what's up and what's good? This is your girl Composy, back with another video for you all on That's It, That's All, That's It, That's All. Thank you so much for joining us again and being with me again today on this podcast. I really appreciate all of the comments, the likes, the feedback, the subscribes, all of that stuff. I really do appreciate you guys. This video is all about Jeff Daniels' appearance on Nicole Wallace this week. I believe it was about 2 days ago on the 20th. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see it. I'm going to be placing a link to the segment down in the description box, but when I tell you that this is something that you need to see, if you care about politics whatsoever, and if you care about truth being told in politics whatsoever, you need to watch this clip, because this actor, this man, Jeff Daniels, he really went to the bottom of the well, got this truth, and brought it back in the most plain, succinct way that I think he possibly could have. It was absolutely amazing. Excuse me, guys. It was absolutely amazing to behold. I'm going to play a little clip for you guys in just a second here, but before I do that, I just want to tell you a little bit and kind of preface it you on what the conversation was about, so you're not kind of lost as to where we're jumping in. So again, he was on Nicole Wallace on the 20th, Deadline White House with Nicole Wallace. Nicole Wallace is a conservative. She is a Republican. She is one of my favorite freaking Republicans because she just tells the truth. I can appreciate the differences in arguments and the difference in positions on things and the best, ideology differences. I can appreciate all that. What I don't like about what's happening in this current Republican Party is there has been a real willingness to look the other way and to lie in order just to think, just to gain political points or just to keep power. That's this whole new strain of conservatism that is it's disgusting and it's hard to bear, because you can't, facts are stubborn things, as Meghan McCain loves to say. But I cannot argue a fact, and if you and I cannot even come to a basis of opinion that, okay, this is solid ground and this is where we're starting as a fact, then we really can't make it anywhere. And we have a lot of Republicans and conservatives that are doing that nowadays that know better, but they're doing it because they feel like, okay, if I just go along with this, we can keep power, and we can keep our party in a position of power to do the things that we want to do. Nicole Wallace is one of the few Republicans that is unwilling to do that. And I don't think it's just because she's not in Senate or in the House or in any, position to be elected. There's a lot of conservative people out there that are not beholden to anyone because they're not elected officials, and they still will not tell the truth of the matter. So I love Nicole Wallace. Been watching her ever since. Actually, I became interested in her when I saw that movie Game Change about the 2008 election. And her character, played by Sarah Paulson, could not even vote when it came to the 2008 election because of what they knew they had in that ticket with John McCain and Sarah Palin. But notwithstanding all that, all these years later, and she still holds that type of integrity. So she had, as I mentioned, she did have Jeff Daniels on her show, and they were discussing, well, first of all, he is being nominated for Tony, so he's kind of on the circuit right now. And they were discussing him playing Atticus Finch in the current production of To Kill a Mockingbird. And not only did he talk about that, but he also was contextualizing that play within the modern frame of our politics today. And from what I can understand, from what Nicole Wallace has said and others that have gone to see this play, separating this play from the time and moment that we're living in politically was just about impossible. And he had something to say about the type of people that come together at these Trump rallies, and the type of feeling and emotion that it stirs, just like it was in To Kill a Mockingbird. These are people that people that you worship with, people that you go to school with, that you babysit their kids, and yet here they are ready to lynch someone who is completely innocent just because they have gotten caught up in this sort of mob frenzy. I want you guys to take a listen to some of this, what he has to say.
It was me sobbing in the fourth row.
There was some weeping.
At the scene when Atticus is at the jail and protecting the KKK comes. They come for him. And it's Scout that recognizes one of her hooded neighbors and says, Mr. Cunningham. And I started sobbing. I mean, our children are watching this moment. Atticus's children are played by extraordinary actors in the play. And it is this reminder that in this moment in our politics, our children are watching.
Children are watching, and I live in Michigan. And after the election, I was surprised at some of the people. You know, I said, can you believe this election? And they go, yeah, isn't it great? And you're going, whoa. My wife's on Facebook, and these go, oh, we got another Trumper. You know, and it's just, you didn't see it coming. Atticus goes through this. I know these people. They're good people. And there are reasons why. And he's an apologist. He's an enabler. And I think there are people in the Midwest between the coasts who don't know anything about, who don't care about this, who don't have time for this, who have to make a decision now. You have to decide whether, like Atticus, you believe that there is still compassion, decency, civility, respect for others. Do unto others. Remember that? Do unto others. All that stuff you guys believe in, and you still voted not for Hillary or for Trump. Where are you now? Because your kids are looking up at you going, but he lies. And I think there are a lot of people in the Midwest who are going, it might be enough for them. We're going to find out if the big gamble is to go all the way to November 2020, which I agree, and lose. It's the end of democracy. Yeah, and Sorkin writes to that. I think it's Sorkin who put it in, where Atticus talks about, a mob acts on emotion, absent facts, absent respect for, absent contemplation, and mostly absent responsibility. What they get is anonymity. A conscience can be exhausting. It'll keep you up at night. A mob's a place where people go to take a break from their conscience. And you lay that line out every night, and you can hear them go, oh.
No, they go, ah!
Yeah.
And I was sitting there.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
That's what I see when I look at Trump's rallies. That's when I see the lies spewing at these people, and people going, I got to believe in something, and he said he'd bring my manufacturing job back, and she didn't, and I'm all in. But at the end of the day, aside from, I don't want to pay taxes, it's race. It's race. This is about the Republican Party, or a wing of it, going, this is our last chance to save the party. And if we don't, it's the end of the Republican Party. And the only way they can do that was to tap the race button and say, go ahead, it's okay. And he did. And
now, when I tell you, that's what I'm talking about. He really went to the bottom of the well with that. Jeff Daniels, he's not the only person to say it. First of all, clearly a lot of minority people have been speaking out and saying that throughout everything that Donald Trump has represented, the ugliest and the most heinous of things has been his link and his willingness to exploit racism and the tender grounds that we walk on with that in this country. Donald Trump did not create those grounds. He's walking on the grounds that have been laid forth by Republicans for over, 30, 40 years. But all of the ground was there, and all he had to do was take that path. What Jeff Downs is talking about is exactly that. This is the Republican Party's last-ditch effort to shore up their power and to shore up their base. If this is the best way that they can go about doing it, is using racism, you damn well right, they're going to use it, and that's exactly what they've been doing. Later on in this interview, Jeff Daniels goes on to talk about our polar ice caps melting, and how Mike Pompeo has been saying, if they melt, they melt. That's actually going to help us shipping-wise. We're going to be able to ship faster because now there's not going to be all those ice caps in our way. It's going to save us time. It's going to save us money. And it was something I hadn't even thought about, the fact of when those ice caps do melt, there is going to be oil. There's going to be some type of resources that somebody's going to have control over. You can bet your bottom dollar the United States wants to be the very first one to have it. So, again, in the interview, he tied the whole thread about how people are using racism to shore up their power so that they can make sure that they're at the forefront of things like that. And I won't, pretend to speak for Mr. Daniels. Again, I'll put a link in the description box and you can listen to the whole interview. But I suggest that you really do. It's really something to think about. It's really something to meditate on how race is being exploited, and really how race has always been exploited in this country. It's always been like that. Personally, I believe a lot of the people at the very top that are exploiting race, they don't really believe these things. They just know that they can exploit others' emotions to get what they want out of them, get the kind of vote that they want. So you guys check that interview out. It was really something. And for right now, that's it. That's all.